My name is Jesse Pika-Holst. I'm here with Solidarity Realty. We joined the Safe Skies Coalition about back in October. When we first got involved in this, I wasn't sure if this was something that we could win. We did it anyway because we knew it was the right thing to do. We saw the public conversation being had about this and the environmental impact statement, and we saw, from our perspective as realtors, the very major impact to the community that wasn't being discussed at all, particularly in the official records. So we did some research, and we discovered that what the EIS and the U.S. Air Force is declaring to be incompatible for residential use totals about $250 million of residential real estate. Now, that figure is, we use a very conservative methodology. That figure is not the floor, it is not the basement. That is bedrock. That number will not go lower. That is the smallest number that we could conjure. We are doing more research at the moment, learning about navigation easements. And we're learning that what the EIS had to say about that is, so an easement is something that is tied to your property, and whether you buy or sell it, that easement stays along with the title of your home. And these easements basically tell homeowners, many of them don't even realize that their property had this attached, that says if there's a problem with sound now or in the future, you can claim no grievance against the airport, the government, any agency, et cetera, et cetera. So all this talk of soundproofing for homeowners, for these folks is absolutely a non-starter. And what we know already through that research is that the EIS was completely false in the proportion of the homes that are affected by those easements. And we're doing some other research too to see, now that we know the base of the amount of real estate that's being affected and how many homeowners, many of them struggling, what are other very plausible scenarios, seeing as we now can tell that we're not getting a straight answer, or in some cases, any answers to questions, very legitimate questions from the Air Force and the Air National Guard. So it's up to us, and it's up to the people of this coalition who have been doing their own digging to learn other facts. And we're up against some very powerful, well-heeled and well-funded opponents. We are going up against Lockheed Martin. We are going up against the United States Air Force. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in opposition to our own homegrown U.S. Senator who could put a stop to this today. So what I'm asking for you, seeing as this is a fundraiser, is to realize that movements, they are people. It is the blood, sweat, and tears that we all give, but money is also required. And what I've seen in the last several months from the other people working on this is that we've taken this brain trust that we have in these various, very skilled skill sets, highly educated people who have been honing their crafts for years and decades, and we've woven them together into a very cohesive plan. And what we're finding out is that not everyone in the community knows that this stuff is happening. They don't even know about the jets and or how this is going to affect them, and it will affect them. Even if the West Siders think that they're too far from the airport, well, they're still taxpayers. This is going to hit the city in its budget. If they are Dane County taxpayers, this is going to affect them because the airport is owned by Dane County. So the Air Force itself is precluded by federal law from compensating anybody. That falls upon the taxpayer of Dane County. So we're learning so much about all this, and we've got this great plan, and we need to get this out to the community to grow our coalition because we have so many people in it, and we have the potential to reach so many people more. And that takes money. And we have a great social media campaign put together, a professional social media campaign to reach those more people. So every dollar that you give tonight has a home and a future that has been predicated and laid out. It was well thought out and will be put to very good use. And I gotta say, after months and working with all the folks who are in this coalition and looking at the research that our firm is still doing, I have never been more confident that this is a winnable fight. And we know that the powers that be are hearing us. They're starting to. They're starting to feel us. And we're applying pressure where it needs to be put, but we're not quite there yet. We're very close. And this decision is going to get made rather soon. After the new EIS full report is put out in a couple of weeks, after 30 days, the decision's going to be made. And that's where we need to keep growing our coalition, get our message out so we can enact our plan to apply that pressure to the folks that it matters. And I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. And please open your wallets. If you were going to give $5, know that 10 would go that much further. $20 is going to go that much further. And that this is a fight that we can win, and we just need a little jet fuel of our own to get across the finish line. And thank you for coming.